What's up, everybody? It's Heidi Fang here, and I'm joined with Adam Hill, our NFL writer, and we are going to break down some of the new faces that the Raiders have brought in for their 2022 season as OTAs are getting underway. Adam, first, I've got to start off right at the top, the big name, the acquisition. You know who I'm talking about. He wears number 17, Devante Adams. What does he bring to this team that they've needed?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with Devante Adams is not only what he does, but what he does to everyone else on the offense. He's going to make everybody else better. He's going to make everybody else's job easier. He's obviously one of the most productive receivers in the league, one of the most talented receivers in the league. He can get open right off the line of scrimmage. So good at just creating space right off the line and finding a way to catch a pass and then turn it into a bigger play. He can also make plays downfield, of course, but he's really, really special in that, first 10, 15 yards of getting just wide open and giving the quarterback a great target. And what that does is draw so much defensive attention that it not only opens up alleys for Darren Waller at tight end, for Hunter Renfrow, obviously as a possession receiver on the other side, but also some of the other new faces they have in the receiving game. All those guys' jobs are going to be much, much easier because of Devante Adams. And, oh, by the way, the offensive line's job is going to be easier, too, because when you're going to throw to Devante Adams, you don't have to wait that long. He's going to be open right away. So all you need to do is just hold up at the line of scrimmage real quick and let him get open and do his thing. And obviously he already has that rapport with Derek Carr from college. They've thrown together in the offseason. It might take a little bit of time to get up to speed, on the same team, getting on the same page in the playbook and everything else, especially with new coaches. But I think that connection is going to be very, very effective right away. And that just opens up everything for everybody else. That's why it was so important to get him in the mix.
With Keelan Cole and Demarcus Robinson, what kind of role do you expect these guys to play in this offense?
Yeah, Keelan Cole's been very productive. I've always liked him as a player for sure. But I actually think Demarcus Robinson might be more important with this dynamic because Keelan Cole, another guy that, yeah, he can get deep. He's a good playmaker downfield. But he can make plays closer to the line of scrimmage as well, which is what this team already does. Demarcus Robinson, I think, is going to be able to use his speed in this dynamic in this offense to get downfield and really create some problems, not only some catches for himself, some big plays, some long touchdowns that he's going to be able to get, but also just again keeping some of that pressure off those other guys. If Devante Adams, Hunter Renfrow, and Darren Waller are all working near the line of scrimmage, he can take the top off the defense. So either you can throw it downfield to him for a big play, or now you've got some more opportunities for those other guys closer to the line where they can't have that defensive attention coming up closer to the line of scrimmage. I think he takes the top off the defense a little bit, which could make him even better than he was in that Kansas City offense where he sometimes got lost in the shuffle a little bit. I think he fits in really, really well with this Raiders team.
We've seen what Josh McDaniels can do with a myriad of different running backs on the roster. How do you see this group working together with some of the new faces, starting with Zamir White?
Yeah, I think he's kind of a guy. He's going to get, he's going to get what's blocked for him for sure, but I think he's also going to be able to make some big plays. He's much more effective right now, especially in the running game. He wasn't really used a lot in the passing game in college, kind of similar to Josh Jacobs and how he kind of came in. So I think he's going to be another dynamic playmaker, and that's important for this offense because that's what we've seen out of New England. Everybody talks about the Raiders now being New England West with Dave Ziegler, Josh McDaniels, what they've done. Well, that is evident very, very clearly with what they've done with this running backs room. That's what they believe is best, a running back by committee. And that's what they've got here. They've got all these guys with the different skill sets. Josh Jacobs, obviously we've seen what he can do. He's very, very effective, but he is going into the last year of his contract. They didn't pick up the option. They're going to have to find out whether they want to keep him long-term or move on. Zamir White will be here for a while now as a rookie. And now you've got other pieces like Amir Abdullah, who is going to have a long shot to make the team maybe because it's so crowded. But Brandon Bolden, who knows the offense from New England, he came over from there. He can be effective. Obviously, Kenyon Drake, the home run threat out of the backfield and especially in the passing game. They're just going to have to be able to mix and match all these different bodies. And I think that's what they want to do. That's what they've done in New England, and now that's what they're bringing to Las Vegas.
It's going to be what I think everybody will have their eyes on as it comes to be the beginning of the season, Adam. That's the offensive line. Dylan Parham was a draft pick. They brought in some other guys for depth. But I think only one spot is really, truly solidified. That's at left tackle with Colton Miller, but the others up for grabs.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one, Colton Miller, right? I think that's the guy you look at and say, okay, left tackle, you're set. And that's the most important position on the offensive line. Obviously, they're obviously very important, but that left tackle spot, I think they're very, very comfortable with an anchor like Colton Miller on that side, who continues to take steps forward every year. And if he does that again, he's really going to rise to a new level in this league. Now you've got all these other spots that are kind of up in the air a little bit, and a lot is dependent on what they do with Alex Leatherwood. And I think that's still a big mystery. I think ideally they would be able to move him back to right tackle. Last year, he struggled, obviously, early in the season, adapting to playing right tackle at the NFL level. But with another year in the building, another staff, kind of some fresh eyes on him, maybe they find a way to get him back to right tackle. I think that's ideal for everyone. But they do have options, of course. Brandon Parker is still there. He was, last year the offensive line, of course, got criticized. But let's not forget, they did make the playoffs. They found a way to get in. So it was good enough at times. So if Brandon Parker is there, I think that's not a total disaster. I think they're very comfortable with him potentially playing a right tackle. But if Leatherwood does stay inside, we'll see how that all works out. And then you've got guys that come in. Andre James played better toward the end of last year at center, for sure. Jermaine Illuminor, I think, gave them some good reps as well out on the field. John Simpson, a guy who still continues to progress at guard as well. So you've got a bunch of options inside. And then Dylan Parham, who was drafted, they brought him in, another guy with a lot of versatility. Maybe they play him outside, but I think they'd rather have him inside. He can either play center or guard, but I think it's battles all along the offensive line, which is a good thing. You've got some options, and whoever plays the best, whoever fits in the best in the system, that's who's going to get playing time.
Adam, we've got 3 new faces in the quarterback room, all competing and vying for that backup role to Derek Carr. From Jared Stidham being brought in and traded from the Patriots, you have Nick Mullins as well as Chase Garbers. Who do you think would make the strongest candidate to be Derek Carr's backup?
So it's pretty clear that Jared Stidham has an inside track on this. He's been in the system. They went and they acquired him here late, kind of in the offseason process a little bit. They wanted to bring him in. Josh McDaniels has a relationship with him. He already knows the offense. It's a very clear advantage for Jared Stidham. And Jared Stidham is a guy who has been talked about as having, potentially a very bright future in this league. Of course, Nick Mullins, we've seen him have some pretty impressive games at the NFL level. He's more than capable, for sure, of coming in and winning this job and even succeeding if called upon. But I think Jared Stidham is a guy who comes from their system, who they want to continue developing. I think that is the guy right now that they want to have that job. And Jared Stidham certainly has that inside track from having the experience in the system.
Well, there you have it for our look at the Raiders offense in 2022 as OTAs get underway. It's Heidi Fang and Adam Hill with you. For all of your Raiders coverage, head over to vegasnation.com, as well as checking out everything that we do in print with the Las Vegas Review Journal. For Adam Hill, I'm Heidi Fang. Thank you for watching.